Hey guys, it's RockTheJake, and welcome to the top 10 albums of 2016.
Number 10.
Long Live the Rebels by Disciple. The band really brought it in this time with a little bit more mature lyrics and themes, as well as really great instrumentation throughout. I've always really enjoyed the way they craft their songs, and it's especially prevalent in this album. Favorite track on the album is Come My Way.
Number 9.
Drift by Erra. This album's a bit of a step in a different direction for the band, but it still holds to their metalcore roots, and it really shows throughout the album. I really enjoy the different way they approach the songs in this album, and while it's not my favorite album out of all of theirs, it's still a very good one nonetheless. Favorite song on the album is Orchid.
Number 8.
Determination, the Purple Side by RichaadEB and Ace Waters. Yes, this album's partially on it because I'm on it, you should go check that out, but also because this is just another really great album made by these two really awesome musicians. A lot of the songs are arranged so well, and they add a new vitality and life to the original soundtrack from Undertale. My favorite track on the album is Augury.
Number 7.
Everything and Nothing by Hammock. Amongst many artists that I got into this year, this was one of the ones that really stood out for me because I really enjoyed this album because of its instrumentation, the fact that a lot of it is instrumental, but when lyrics come in, it just blends in with the music in a way that really works. This is a good album to play when you need to just clear your mind and relax and just get in a really good headspace, and I really appreciate that in an album. My favorite track on the album is Marathon Boy.
Number 6.
Deathgrip by Fit for a King. This is a really angry metal album, but it really works for the times that we live in, considering some of the themes and lyrics throughout. I really enjoy the craftsmanship of the songs, especially with the syncopation and some of the really interesting breakdowns, and I'm in. I'm down with Fit for a King now, and I want to listen to more of their stuff. Favorite track on the album is We Are All Lost.
Number 5.
Ghost Ship by Theocracy. If I had to describe this band to somebody, I would simply say Christian Dragon Force. The instrumentation is really well crafted from both guitars and bass and even the drums. The lyrics are very good, if not a little bit silly at times, just because of the power metal feel to it. But it's a very fun album to listen to, and there's some really great stuff going on in there. Favorite track from the album is Paper Tiger.
Number 4.
Beyond Control by King's Kaleidoscope. I really enjoy this album not just because of the unique instrumentation or because of the lyrical themes throughout, but because it sort of opens a discussion about how foul language can be used in Christian music, but effectively. It sounds weird, I know, but if you check out the album, you'll find out what I mean near the end. Favorite song on the album is Dust.
Number 3.
This is a three-way tie between Spirit of St. Louis, Voyager 1, and Courduroy Road by Adam Young. Over the past year, Adam Young decided to make it a project to release a composer album every month, which meant that he made a soundtrack for different historical events based on what he thinks the sounds and music would be. Each album that was released throughout the year captures parts of the events very well, but I think the three that I mentioned are the ones that really capture it the best and also just have an overall great sound. I think my favorite song from any of the albums over the past year is Takeoff from Spirit of St. Louis.
Number 2.
Okay, I'm cheating here, but this is a tie between Air for Free by Relient and Letters to Lost Loves by Tyson Motsenbocker. Really, the reason that they tie is because I love the stories behind both albums. For Air for Free, it's just the simple fact that our boys in Relient are back in sort of a new form, but also true to what they've been doing over the past well over a decade or so. And the music in the album is just so good. And we get 16 tracks. That's a lot of content for what you pay for. Favorite track off of that album is Elephants on Parade. And then with Letters to Lost Loves, the story behind the album is that the singer's mom died from cancer or some sort of terminal illness, and so he walked across California on sort of a spiritual journey. And when you know that, it gives the song so much more meaning in life. And I just really enjoy the concept behind the album, and I hope he has more success in the future. Favorite track off of that album is Can't Come Home Again. Before we do number 1, here's some honorable mentions. Del Rio by Armin J. This album actually came out in 2015, but I didn't hear it until a little bit later into 2016. If I had heard it earlier, it would have easily made one of the top 10 slots in 2015. Sleeping at Last, specifically Atlas Year 1. The album spans over a few different years, but I didn't actually hear it until 2016, so that's why it's not on the list. But it is a fantastic album of really quality music, and I absolutely love it. Thank you, Ace. 22 A Million by Bon Iver. This album is really well crafted, and some of the lyrics are really abstract and interesting, But also because of that, there wasn't really a whole lot for me to grasp onto, and so that's why it's not on the top 10. But it's still a fantastic album, and I'm sure it's going to be in plenty of other people's top 10s. Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. Again, another album with really well-crafted songs and some really interesting, if not a little bit abstract lyrics, but again, there wasn't a whole lot for me to grasp onto, so that's why it's also not in the top 10. Still, really fantastic album, you should go check it out. Dear Me by Owl. I really love the instrumentation of the album as well as the singer's voice and some of the lyrics that they go up with, but again, there just wasn't a whole lot for me to grasp onto, although that's my fault because I didn't really get to listen to it a lot, so that's on me, I'm sorry, but go check it out because it really is a great album.
Number 1.
The Owlboy OST by Jon Geer. The music is so beautiful and it matches up perfectly with the beautiful aesthetic of the game as well as the story and the gameplay. It is just a wonderful, wonderful soundtrack, and it could not have fit the game any better. My favorite track from the album is Tropos, Day. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, share it around, and let me know below what some of your favorite albums from the past year were, because hey, I always like to listen to new music. Thank you again so much for watching, and have a great day.